So check out this PPC campaign, literally crazy returns. Spent $564.35 and made over $6,598 at an ACOS of 8.55%, which is amazing. And we got 114 orders for that and a crazy ROAS. So honestly, this is so easy to set up. And once it's set up, it just keeps making you money. Hey, what's going on? My name is Dan Vass and I want to welcome you back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a complete Amazon PPC tutorial, and I'll be showing you how to set up profitable campaigns and how to also find the best keywords for your products to target and really just learn Amazon PPC advertising like an absolute boss and make tons of money profitably for your product. Now, the first thing that I want to say in this video is one fundamental truth about Amazon PPC, where everything else on Amazon FBA is a formula, and I'm talking about the process of going through product research, finding suppliers, branding the product, launching the product, and marketing it. You follow the steps until you reach success, step by step. Amazon PPC is more like an art, and it's really a skill that takes years of experience to master. It's not something that's super easy. I remember that when I was an Amazon FBA newbie, honestly, for me, to understand Amazon PPC was very, very difficult at the very beginning because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I knew that if I was going to make mistakes, they were going to be costly mistakes because obviously, it costs money to actually advertise. With Amazon PPC, it can take a long time if you're trying to do this on your own to really understand how it all works, to understand the bidding system, because that's what it is. It's an auction system, to understand the match types, the campaign types, and everything associated with doing it successfully. But that's why I'm making this video, to shorten that learning curve for you, because honestly, it doesn't have to take that long for you. And in this video here, I'm going to be taking you from beginner to expert in one video, literally giving you all the knowledge that you need to know to run PPC better than 99% of your competitors on Amazon, being able to get all those extra sales that they're not getting. And even though PPC is quite complicated and the whole process to really teach this in one video is it's definitely not easy. It's definitely a lot to take in. There's going to be a lot of information here, so make sure that you're taking notes, make sure you're watching it. Feel free to rewind the video to go back to any important parts that you missed, and you can also check out the timestamps down below for different sections of the video, which I always post there just to help you out as well. So I'm here along with you every step of the video. We're going to take it nice and slow, and it's going to be great. I'm excited for this. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you around the Amazon PPC dashboard, as well as give you an explanation of what Amazon PPC actually is and why it's so useful for you as an Amazon seller. So a lot of people, they have this misconception that Amazon PPC is a launch tool, and Amazon PPC is not a launch tool. It's not just for launching your product and getting it ranked. Amazon PPC is advertising on Amazon. So I'm going to show you what Amazon PPC products look like when you actually are doing it correctly. So if I type in the name of the product that we have in one of our brands here at Ecom Freedom, which is Broday, and we're actually doing very successful. You can see this is right here, Broday Bidet Toilet Seat Attachment. So you can see that it says sponsored at the very top here. So what that means is that this is actually an Amazon PPC listing. And so there's actually an active PPC campaign running for this, as well as for Spritz, Vecchian, and all these other competitors, right? So basically, if we scroll down, we can see, okay, Broday is showing up first for that organic search term, and then we have the rest. This right here is the organic rank, while this one here is sponsored. This one is actually being pushed to the top of the first page by PPC. And how that's controlled is using the bidding system. So basically how it works is we have a campaign here, Broday Keywords, and we can see here that if we click into the ad group, and I'm going to explain how the difference is between what everything means here, how to read the charts. You can see that we're targeting Broday, and it's kind of all over the place, right? We're just targeting Broday, Bidet in every single match type. And you can see here that we're making a killing. Because Broday is a pretty well-known brand at this point in the bidet niche, and I'm going to talk about how to get your brand to that point as well, where people will just be basically searching for your brand directly, and that's how, really how you get the most profitable marketing, when people actually know your brand, when you have brand awareness. So here we have a bid of $3.04 for Broday, and what that means is that we're actually willing to spend $3.04 for a click for somebody to actually click this, right? So let's say if I click this, that would mean that Amazon would take out $3.04 from our account, and then obviously even if I don't buy it, right? So if I buy it, that's cool. Then we make $50. If I don't buy it, well then we lost $3.04. That's how PPC works, and so it's all based on a bidding system. You can see here there's a suggested bid, and so it's telling us that the suggested bid to actually get a decent rank, meaning to actually have a decent chance at showing up at the top of the first page or somewhere on the first page, is 70 cents. And so obviously because we're bidding so much more, we're willing to spend up to $3.04 per click. Well, that means that, we're really guaranteeing ourselves that rank at the top of the first page because we are the listing that is willing to pay the most out of anyone else. You can see here that we're willing to pay more than Spritz and Vecken to actually list our product at the top of the first page. So that's essentially how PPC works, and you can bid on any keyword. Now, obviously, if we're selling a bidet and I go and I add like barbecue gloves here, then, our listing will show up for barbecue gloves, but the issue is that people that are searching for barbecue gloves, they're not going to click on our listing, or they might click and they're just going to waste our money, right? No one's going to buy it because they're not searching for barbecue gloves. So that's why it's so important to really figure out the best keywords to actually bid on for your PPC campaigns. So we're going to get into the best campaigns to launch and also to really figure out what the most profitable PPC campaigns are for your specific product. Because for Broday, we actually did a lot of tests and we figured out that for our product, running a simple PPC campaign like this, just with like Broday and the keywords and then just having super high bids with a bid adjustment of 50% for the top of search, that's actually been the most effective and most profitable way of actually running profitable PPC. But it's different. It's different for every product. Every product is different out there. And so that's why I recommend following the framework that I'm about to show you here in this video, which is going to be really easy to follow step by step. So now if we go back to the main campaign view, this is the main campaign view. And here you can see all of your active campaigns running. And you'll also be able to see all the inactive campaigns. You can add filters, based on what you want to filter out. So let's say we only want to see this campaign. We can put Broday keywords here. If we type in just like the name of this campaign, then obviously it's only going to show us that. At the top here, you'll find kind of like a chart with the PPC performance on every single day. Here you can adjust the date. Now, if we actually click into the campaign, here we can see that there are ad groups. So the difference between a campaign and an ad group, basically you can have as many ad groups as you want in one campaign. So let's say that you have 5 different sets of keywords and you want to basically just separate them in different ad groups and target them separately, but keep them in one campaign, then you can do that. And that way you can kind of see the performance for each ad group, each set of keywords that you're targeting, right? And you can add as many keywords as you want for each ad group. Usually 99% of the time, you're not going to be adding multiple ad groups in the same campaign. Like 99% of the time, what we found is most effective is just to have one campaign and one ad group in that campaign with the target keywords that you are targeting for that specific campaign. The next thing I'm going to show you here is placements. So here you can actually adjust your bid up to really have an increased chance of having Amazon show up your product on the top of the first page. So for the top of search here, we actually have a 50% bid adjustment. And so what that means is that we're willing to have Amazon increase our bid by up to 50% depending on the likelihood that that person would actually click and buy our product. And that's obviously determined by Amazon's AI. Amazon is all entirely run on AI almost, except like their customer service and fulfillment, obviously. And so it just has this massive revolving amount of data. So that's why Amazon actually knows almost to like a 90th percentile whether somebody would actually click and buy your product or not based on their previous buying history. So in this case, we found 50% is the best for this. And I'll also, you'll see why we choose 50 when we actually get to setting up our campaigns. That's what we have here, 50%. And so basically our $3 bid for that Broday keyword that you saw, then that means that we're willing to spend up to like basically 3 times 1.5, right? Because that's a 50% increase. So it's like $4.50 approximately. Product pages, you can also add a bid adjustment here, but we didn't add anything. Now, negative keywords, what this is, basically here we can actually exclude keywords from our campaign. So let's say that, let's just say, for example, bidet is not a profitable keyword. You would just add a negative keyword there. You would write bidet, and then that would stop the campaign from showing for that keyword, saving us that wasted money, And there's actually a way of figuring out what your negative keywords are based on the search term report, which I'm going to show you later on in this video. So for now, that's pretty much everything you need to know. Later on in this video here, I'm going to be talking about the different terminology like the spend, the sales, the ACOS, and the ROAS, which is important to know as well. But for now, you don't need to know that. So now that you have a better introductory understanding of Amazon PPC, let's talk about an important concept that's just super important to get right out of the gate. And that is the difference between launch and ongoing PPC campaigns. What is a launch PPC campaign? What's an ongoing PPC campaign? So basically, when you get your product in Amazon, and if you're watching this video, you still don't have your product and you're just watching my YouTube videos and you just want to learn more about PPC, that's fine because this information will be really helpful once you actually get your product in Amazon. Or if your product just got into Amazon and now you want to launch the product, you want to get it moving, well, now this is when you actually want to launch your launch Amazon PPC campaigns. And so basically, our goal of PPC changes depending on at which stage of the process we're at. So if you're just launching your product, we're actually trying to gain visibility with our launch PPC campaigns. So we're not really looking for profitable sales. We're not looking to make a profit at launch. We're more looking to move our product from page 17 or wherever it is closer and closer, ideally to the top of page 1, by having Amazon PPC show our product there and getting those eyeballs, getting those people to actually view our listing and make that decision whether they want to buy or not. Because every single time somebody buys from our listing, doesn't matter if it's a PPC sale or an organic sale, if somebody purchases from us, it actually moves us up closer and closer in rank to the top of page 1. So that's why Amazon PPC is a great tool to launch your product, but it's not specifically a launch tool as I mentioned previously. It's just that the way we run the PPC campaigns changes depending on if you launch your product or if your product is already at the top of page 1 and now you're just trying to optimize your PPC campaigns for profit. And so the main difference between the launch and the ongoing PPC campaigns, as I've said previously, the launch campaigns we're going for visibility. The main difference will be in your ACOS. So what is ACOS? I'm going to show you here. So we're back in campaign view, and if we look at our legendary campaign where we have this 8.55% ACOS, $564 in spend and $6,598 in sales, 114 orders. This ACOS, what does this mean? So this is something very important to understand right off the bat. ACOS stands for advertising cost of sales. And so what this is the percentage of your sales that you spend on advertising. And as Amazon explains, this is calculated by dividing your spend by sales attributed to your ads. So basically what this does is it just takes the amount of money that you spend on your PPC and then it divides it by this number right here, and then it multiplies it by 100 to get the percentage. So 8.55%. And so this means that we spent 8.55% of our total sales. To get these sales, we spent 8.55% of that money on advertising on Amazon PPC. And so the reason why ACOS is so important in PPC, this is actually by far the most important metric to look at, is because this tells us, this literally is the difference between if we're profitable or not. And when you are running your launch campaigns, you actually want to go for an ACOS of between 80 and 100%. And what that means is that basically, let's say that you get $1,000 in sales, you're actually aiming to spend $800 to $1,000 to get that $1,000 in sales. Now that might sound absolutely crazy. You might be thinking, that's crazy. If I have to spend $800 to get $1,000 in sales, I'm not making any money. I'm just losing money. Well, here's the deal. When you're starting a new business, doesn't matter if it's Amazon FBA, doesn't matter if it's a local frozen yogurt shop on the side of the street, you're going to have to spend some money to get your product moving. And Amazon FBA, as I've mentioned many, many times, is not a get rich quick scheme. You are starting your real business. And so that's why, obviously you're going to have to spend some marketing dollars to get that traction for your product. So people actually start buying your product. And then at that point, you're not going to have to do this forever. You're not going to have to spend money to make money forever. Once your product is on page 1 at the top, at that point, you're getting organic sales that you don't have to pay PPC for. And PPC becomes more of like a cherry on top. It's just kind of like extra sales that you're making that you wouldn't have otherwise been making. And so for launch PPC, your goal with your ACOS is going to be to aim for 80 to 100%. Now, if your ACOS is anything below that for your launch PPC campaigns, that's awesome. Okay, that means that you're doing really, really good, and that means that your product is getting visibility, and you might also be making a little bit of profit. But if your ACOS is above 100%, that means that you actually have to optimize your campaigns, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in this video as well. Now, you want to be running your launch PPC campaigns from the time that your product gets into Amazon to the time that your product actually appears at the top of page 1 for your main keywords, or at least close to the top of page 1. And when you've achieved that, at that point, you can stop your launch PPC campaigns, and you can start your ongoing PPC campaigns, which I'm going to show you here in this video how to create as well. And so with your ongoing PPC campaigns, the difference changes. So the main goal becomes not visibility because you already have visibility. The main goal becomes profit. And so at this point, you're really looking for that profitable ACOS. And what a profitable ACOS is it's going to be basically anything under your profit margin. So for Bro Day, if I give you an example here, our profit margin for Bro Day on every single unit of sale is approximately 50%. And so what that means is that if we have our ongoing PPC campaigns running and our ACOS, let's say here, shows 8.55% like it shows here, that means that this is, first of all, amazing. It's very, very profitable. Since our break-even ACOS is 50%, this is way lower, meaning that all the sales that we got here, the 114 orders, that means that they're very, very profitable orders. We're only spending like basically a few dollars to get each order, or like $5 or $6 to get each order, which is awesome, right? Like about $4 to get each order. And so in this case, that's awesome. And the closer that this number would get to 50%, which is our profit margin, the less and less profit we would make. So if you look at these campaigns here, we're just a couple of test campaigns that we were running here for a short period of time. You can see here, this one is 39.8%. So this campaign is much less profitable than this one. And this campaign is less profitable than this one as well, because the closer that this number gets to your break-even ACOS, the less profit that you make. And if this was, let's say, our break-even ACOS 50%, that means that this campaign doesn't make us money and doesn't lose us money. It's just breaking even. And that's not a bad thing, because every single sale we get on Amazon actually moves us higher and higher in the algorithm. So you can almost imagine that for every sale you get with PPC, you're basically going to get an organic sale for free. It's kind of like that. It's a rule of thumb. So now you might be getting a little bit confused about break-even ACOS and how to calculate your profit margin. There's a really, really easy solution for this. So we actually created something called the Ecom Freedom Amazon FBA Profit Calculator, and there's going to be a link to access this down below in the description. It's completely free. You can go there, create an account, and then basically you can actually plug in your product, plug in all the numbers, and that will tell you what your profit margin percentage is. And if it's anything between 30 and 50%, that's great. That means that you've got a good profit margin. If it's anything below 30%, then that's not so good. That means that your profit margin is not that high, and it's going to be harder to make money with your product. I would not go for a product below 25% profit margin at the lowest, unless you're really moving a lot of volume. You know, if you're planning on selling many units per day, if it's a cheaper product that sells a lot of units, that can be fine. If your profit margin is above 50%, well, that's amazing. That's that you really got a winner. And in that case, then that's awesome. But as long as it's between 30 and 50%, anything above is great as well. So let's say that if that profit margin calculator told you that your profit was 46%, that means that for your ongoing PPC campaigns that we're going to create later, that means that you're trying to optimize your campaigns. You're going to be looking to optimize them for 46% ACOS or below. So that's how you determine how you optimize your ongoing PPC campaigns, which will actually make you a lot of profit. Now, before we go on to launch our first PPC campaigns, there's a couple of very important things to know. First of all, your PPC is entirely dependent on the quality of your listing and also the quality of your product. So the whole goal of PPC is to actually get your product up to 5 to 10 reviews, which should be at least 4.5 stars. If it's anything under that, it's going to be a very difficult journey for you, and that means that your product lacks in quality, which is something that should have been addressed before you actually even launched your product, before you as you were speaking to your suppliers and as you were getting samples. So before you launch your PPC campaigns, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a fully optimized listing and that you really put in all the effort that you can in making your listing the best that it can be. So here I'm showing you our listing for Bro Day. Now you can see that our review number is 146. And of course, when we launched our product, we had 0 reviews, but you're going to get here eventually. Don't worry. And when you just are launching your product, obviously you're going to have 0 reviews, but the main thing to do is you want to make sure that your pictures are awesome. So here is a good example. We can see here the first picture is a great picture on a white background. The second one here is another great picture showing the product. And here we have more nice pictures of the product. Here's more of a zoom out. Here is what you get with the kit, and here's a video. Video you can't get at the beginning until you have brand registry. Don't worry about that. You don't need that. But as long as you have great pictures like this, then you're good. One big pro tip, please do not use Alibaba pictures. Do not use AliExpress pictures. That's just a recipe for failure. Don't even start Amazon PPC if you're going to do that, because if your pictures suck, your PPC is going to suck big time, even more than everything else. Don't even try to do that with bad pictures. So because it's not the easiest thing to find a talented photographer who actually knows how to take amazing e-commerce product photos, even though there's a lot you can find on Upwork and Fiverr and other websites like that, they're usually really cheap and you get what you pay for. They're not really going to end up being good pictures. So that's why I actually put together the Ecom Freedom Perfect Photo Service, which you can find in the link down below. This is usually exclusive to our students in our Ecom Freedom program, but I decided to make this public on this video just so you can have access to my own personal photographers that I use to get amazing e-commerce pictures. And you'll find that it's a little bit pricey, but pictures are pricey. Believe me that we're not actually making a lot of money off this. Most of the money goes to the photographers. So this is something that I would highly recommend, and this way you get proven photographers that will get you great pictures. So pictures, super important. The next thing is to have a fully optimized title. So it should be something like this. Obviously, adapt this to your own product. The price has to be something that makes sense for launch. So you don't want the price to be too high. So you want to have an idea of a target price that you're going to be selling your product at, ideally on an ongoing basis once you actually have about 5 to 10 reviews. And so for us, that's $49 $39.99. However, if I was launching this listing right now from zero, I would definitely not start off the launch at that target price. So what I recommend doing is discounting your product. Maybe, in this case for Brode, I would have launched it at like $39.99 or $42.99. So you just want to start off with a lower price just to give people more of a motivation to buy from you than from competitors, because obviously your competitors have reviews and you don't. And so you have to give them that extra motivation at the beginning to buy from you and not from well-established competitors. So don't worry, you're going to be able to test your price many, many times as you grow your success on Amazon FBA with your product. So you just have to make sure that your price is not too high when you are going to launch your PPC campaigns, or else it's just going to be an epic fail. You're not going to get any sales and you're going to spend a lot of money. And then finally, your bullet points. So you want to make sure that your bullet points are beautiful. They're, really, really well written. And so honestly, I just wrote these. I'm a god at copywriting. I'm really good at this stuff. It's just one of my natural talents, but you don't have to be a god at this. Honestly, writing, enjoy a fresh, clean button seconds, life-changing experience, nothing crazy, right? So you can do this yourself as well. And the final thing that you want to make sure that you have is a good description. Now, you're not going to be able to have pictures in your description. This is only available once you have brand registry, which is something that you get when your brand is well established, when you actually have an active trademark for your brand. That takes about 8 months in the United States. So, don't worry about that. All you need to make sure is that you have a nice description. It's going to be text only. And it's nothing complicated, but something that just sounds good and really sells the product to the people that will visit your listing. And now finally, one more thing to remember is that during your launch PPC, just remember that it's not going to be profitable until you have at least 5 positive reviews. Okay, so just understand that during launch PPC, you're not looking for your PPC to be profitable. You're just trying to get your product up to at least 5 positive reviews with a minimum of 4 to 4.5 average rating, average stars. And then once you've reached that, at that point, likely you're on page 1 or at the top of page 1 for your main keywords. So for us, it would be bidet or bidet toilet attachment, something like that. And then after that, we can actually transition to ongoing PPC. So remember, main thing to remember with launch PPC, we're going for 80 to 100% ACOS as a goal. And then we're also going to optimize for that until we have over 5 to 10 plus positive reviews and we've achieved our target rank for our keywords. And at that point, after that, we optimize for our break-even profit margin. So now let's launch our launch PPC campaigns. The first campaign that we're going to launch is going to be our launch auto campaign at $10 a day. This is going to have the lowest bid. The second campaign we're going to launch is our launch broad match campaign. This is also going to be at $10 a day for a budget. And in this campaign, we're going to negative phrase match our target keywords. I'm going to talk about what this exactly means here soon. Our third campaign is going to be our launch phrase match campaign at $10 to $20 a day. Here, we're going to negative exact match our target keywords. And like I said, I'm going to say what that means soon here. Our fourth campaign is going to be our launch exact match campaign, $10 to $30 per day, depending on your budget and what you want to spend. This is going to be our highest bid campaign. Finally, our fifth campaign will be our launch product display campaign at $10 to $20 per day. So basically, to launch your product effectively with Amazon PPC, you want to spend about $50 a day for at least a few days, okay? And so for your launch PPC budget, it's going to cost you between $200 and $250 for launch. Of course, you can reduce or increase your campaign levels depending on how much money you have, how much you want to spend. But just understand that if you reduce your campaign spend below the amounts shown here, it's going to be much harder to actually gain rank for your campaigns and it might not be successful. So these are numbers that have been proven by thousands of sellers and by our entire team having launched many, many successful Amazon FBA products. So now it's time to find our target keywords, the keywords that we're actually going to use to actually launch our PPC campaigns with. And for this, the best way to do this is to use a tool called Keyword Scout in Jungle Scout. So Jungle Scout is always the tool that I've always used for Amazon FBA for several years. You know me, I don't recommend BS tools. I don't recommend a bunch of tools just to make affiliate money from them. Honestly, I just recommend Jungle Scout because it's by far the best and it has all these different tools, including this tool that you absolutely need to use to actually figure out the best keywords to target for your Amazon PPC. You'll find a link down below to get the most discounted version of Jungle Scout available anywhere online. The reason why I have that available is because I'm actually personally friends with the CEO of the company, Greg. He's a great guy, and I'm partnered up with them. I actually reached out to them to get us that cheapest possible link with those custom packages that I think are the most effective for a new seller. You'll find a 1 month, a 3 month, and a 1 year package at the cheapest possible prices, and they were nice enough to be willing to offer my channel that in my audience. So you won't find a cheaper price anywhere else, and it's going to be www.ecomfreedom.com/Jungle Scout. You'll find that link down below. Now, if you're at this stage, you likely already have Jungle Scout if you've been watching my videos, because that's what I use in every single one of my videos to actually get your Amazon business started. And then down below, you can get 1 month if you're on a lower budget, or if you want, you can grab the 3 months. That's usually the best deal. So now once you're in Jungle Scout, and to access that, you're just going to go to junglescout.com after you've paid. You're going to navigate on the left here, and you're going to click on Keyword Scout under Keyword. It's going to take you here. And here you'll find all the different marketplaces, and this method works for all the different Amazon countries, not just the States, but we're going to use the States because that's what our example product is. And so the first thing you want to do is you actually want to enter in the different ASINs of your top 3 competitors on Amazon. So your primary and 2 competing products if you've watched my other product research videos. So here I've got my 3 competitors pages open. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab the ASIN of each of these competitors. And you'll find it here. It's going to be B followed by the random letters and numbers. So we're just going to go and right click and copy that. And then we're going to go back here. We're going to paste that in here. And then we're going to grab the next one as well and paste. And then finally this one. And ideally you want your competitors to be similar to what you're selling or the exact same thing if that's what you're selling. This one is not the same as our bidet, but it is selling very well and likely the keywords will be the same that we're targeting. All right, so now we're just going to paste that in here. And once you have the ASINs of your 3 top competitors here in the bar, now we're going to actually click search. All right, so now we've got all the keywords that popped up here. The first thing we want to do is we actually want to sort by 30-day search volume, and you want to make sure that it shows it from top to bottom. So in this case, I'm just going to click on it twice just to make sure that it's showing that. Okay, so our goal here will be to select all the best and most relevant keywords that are the most relevant to our product by clicking on the checkbox to the left while not including any irrelevant keywords. And we also don't want to include any brand names as well from other competitors because we're not allowed to target brand names that are not ours on PPC. So let's do that. I'm going to show you how to actually build out this target keyword list. So I'm going to select bidet. Okay, dude wipes for men. So let's see, I'm not sure if this is relevant. So I'm going to click on that Amazon logo. Okay, so it's not relevant. Even though it's showing us the bidet attachment, actually these are wipes. So these are just wet wipes. And so that's why we're not going to check that box there. Dude wipes also, no. Bidet for toilet, let's see. Okay, so yes, this is what we're selling. So we're going to check mark that. Perry bottle, I have no idea what that is. Okay, so that's like a portable bidet. So no, that's not what we're selling. Toilet bidet, yes. Bidet warm water? No, because our bidet is actually a cold water. It doesn't have a warm water feature, although we are adding a product with that feature soon. That's not the one that we're selling. So we're not going to click that. Tushy bidet, we're not going to include that because that's our competitor's name. Bidet toilet, yes. Bidet sprayer, let's take a look. Nope, that's not our product because our product doesn't come with the sprayer. So that's not it. Clear rear, that's a competitor. Clear rear bidet, that's a competitor. Bidet attachment for toilet, let's take a look. Yes, that's our product. So we're going to check mark that. And you basically want to rinse and repeat this process all the way down until you see 500. So all the way down until you hit 500. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pause and unpause the video. All right, so now I've selected all the relevant keywords for our bidet here. You can see that I've skipped through a lot. I did not check mark like dude wipes for women. There was one really weird one that I saw, real poop from butt. No idea why someone wants to buy that on Amazon. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of ones that I didn't include here. And it's really important not to include irrelevant keywords that are not your product, because if you include them in your target keywords, your PPC will be bad. It's not going to be profitable. Okay. Now, if your top keyword doesn't have as high of a search volume showing up here as this bidet, so if it's not 184,000, if it's like, 20 or something, you actually want to go all the way down to 200. So not 500, but 200, but that's only if your product is lower demand. And really important, you want to include spelling mistakes. In this case, it's very eye-opening at all the various ways that the great people of the United States spell bidet. You can see here, boudet, bade, boudet, bidet, bidet, right? So you want to include those because obviously they're interested in the product. And so now what you do is you actually click on add keyword to list. Now, if this looks a little bit different by the time you watch this video, that's fine. There's just going to be a button that says create a list or add it to a list. And then what you want to do is you want to create a new list called the Broday Master List. I already made one. This is from before, but I'm just going to make a new one. Broday Master List, V2. You can just you don't have to put the V2 there. I'm just doing that for this. So here's our list that we just created. So what we're looking for here are 5 target keywords. And it's not like words. We're actually looking for 5 different keywords, including long tail keywords. What a long tail keyword is, this right here is a long tail. This right here is a long tail. This right here is not, it's just one word. So a long tail is basically more than one word. And a lot of the times you'll find that targeting long tail keywords for your top 5 target keywords for your PPC actually is much cheaper and much better for ranking your product, because a lot of the times the top keyword, the bidet, which has the most amount of search volume in this case, it's also going to have the most difficult ease to rank here. You can see here that the ease to rank is very difficult. That's why Jungle Scout's very useful. It tells you how hard it is to rank for each individual keyword. So now I'm going to choose the words, and I'm actually going to include bidet. Even though it is very difficult to rank, it's still our main keyword, and we're going to try with that. So now we're actually going to choose our 5 keywords that we're going to select for our PPC campaigns. Now I'm going to actually select bidet, and the reason why I'm going to still select bidet, even though it's very hard to rank for that, apparently according to Jungle Scout, is because the bid isn't too high. So if your bid is like $3 or above, and it's very difficult and it has a crazy high search volume, then don't include that, skip it. But the bid here is fine. It's below $2. It's fine. So we're just going to include that. That's how much money we're willing to pay for each click. We're going to include that. We're going to include that. We're going to include that. We're going to include this one as well. And then we're going to include this one. All right, so now we can actually create our launch PPC campaigns. I know that it's been a long video already, but there's just so much to Amazon PPC to understand, and I'm really trying to do my best here to really explain this to you and really just take you step by step through this whole process to really get you to become a pro with PPC. So there's 2 ways of creating your launch PPC campaigns. The first way will be to just do it manually, which I'm going to show you here in this video, or you can actually use a tool. And I always use tools just because I've created my own PPC campaigns manually for a very long time, and at this point tools just save so much time. You can actually just use the tool if you want, and I would highly recommend just using the tool if you are willing to pay $20 a month. So actually in the other video here that I'm going to show how to do this, how to create these campaigns using the tool, basically there you'll be able to get a 7-day free trial for the tool, and then it's going to be about $20-$30 a month discounted, and basically the tool just saves you a lot of time. You don't have to like manually create every single campaign in the tool. It just literally takes like a few minutes once you plug in your target keywords. So if you want to use the tool, if you want to go with option 2, and if you don't mind a small monthly fee with the free trial, then you can go ahead and click on the link down below to actually access the video where I make the campaigns with the tool. If not, if you want to just do this for free and you want the more time consuming process, then stick to this video. I'm going to show you here how to do this. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to actually build out the campaign. So let's go back to our campaign view. First thing I'm going to do is click on create campaign. So now it's asking us to choose our campaign type. So the first campaign that we're going to create is going to be the launch auto campaign. So for that, it's going to be the sponsored products. Okay. And so now for the campaign name, we're going to type in Broday. Okay. And you want to stick to the following format. I'm going to show it on the screen here. So you can see the 5 different campaigns, the launch auto, launch broad, launch phrase, and you can see how you're supposed to name them. So the first one should be Broday, replace the product with your brand name or your product name, launch auto campaigns. So accurate naming and keeping it all organized is super important for PPC. A lot of people, they just create like, campaign 1, campaign 2, and then they have no idea what's going on when they actually pull their search term report. So make sure to actually accurately name your campaigns. So now for the portfolio, we're just going to do no portfolio. Start and end date, we're just going to choose today's date. And by the way, if you're watching this about a year or 2 later, PPC is the exact same. There's nothing that changes here. Like the launch campaigns are going to be the same. The ongoing campaigns are going to be the same because it fully molds with the Amazon algorithm and the whole flywheel of Amazon and how product actually get ranked and start selling. So don't worry if it's been some time since I made this video. Daily budget, we're going to do $10. Okay. Targeting, since it's an auto campaign, we're going to select automatic targeting. And so what this does is we actually let Amazon choose which keywords and products to target. Now, since we just chose our target keywords, you might be asking, well, what was the point of that? Well, we're actually going to use that for our other campaigns. So the other ones will have manual. This one is the only one that's going to be an automatic targeting campaign. Now for the campaign bidding strategy, we're going to select dynamic bids down only. So what this is, basically, Amazon will lower our bids in real time when the ad is less likely to convert to a sale, saving us money if Amazon thinks that the person is just not as likely to become a customer and actually buy the product. So through all of our testing, through thousands of dollars of PPC spend, we found that dynamic bids down only is the best for all campaigns. And so there's really no point in using the other one. So don't even worry about that. What you want to do, really important, is you want to click here, adjust bids by placement, and you want to type in 50%. Okay. And this is really important because this will actually increase our bid for people that Amazon thinks are more likely to turn into customers. So now that we've put 50%, let's keep going. Now for the ad group, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy and paste the campaign name in the ad group. Since we're only creating one ad group, that makes sense to do. So here we're going to select our product. So that's our product right there. I'm not sure why we have 2. I think we just have an extra offer there for some reason. So now for the automatic targeting bid, what you want to do is you want to select the suggested bid. And this is the most optimized bid for success with this specific campaign. We leave negative keyword targeting blank and also negative product targeting blank. And then we click launch campaign. So now that we've launched the campaign, we go back to campaign manager, and now it's time to create our other campaign. It might take a few minutes for you to actually see the campaign in here, so don't worry about it. You can always hit refresh. But we're just going to go on and create our second campaign. So now this is where we're actually going to use our target keywords that we've selected. So click on sponsored products. Okay. And then now we're going to call it Broday launch broad match. This one's going to be $10. Now this one's going to be manual. Dynamic bids down only. And then for the bids by placement, we are going to also put 50%. Ad group name, we're just going to copy this, paste it in here. Then we're going to select our product again. For this, we're going to select keyword targeting. And now what you want to do is click on enter list. You want to enter in your own target keywords that we've actually chosen here. And so now what we do is we actually only want to leave broad match selected, and we deselect phrase and exact. So what's the difference between broad, phrase, and exact match? This is a good opportunity for me to talk about that. So basically, let's say that our keyword that we're going to be targeting is bidet attachments for toilets, right? And let's say that it's a broad match campaign. So that means that if somebody goes on Amazon and types in bidet attachment for toilets, they're going to see the product. But if they also type in attachment toilets bidet, they're also going to see the product, because basically we're telling Amazon that, just target anything that's broadly related to this. Phrase match is a little bit more specific. So if you type in like attachment toilet bidet, it might not show up. But if you type in bidet for toilets, then it probably will show up. Exact match means that, that means that we're only telling Amazon to target this specifically. So if they type in only bidet attachment, they're not going to see it. Even if they type in bidet attachment for, they're not going to see it. So they actually have to type in the whole thing. And since this is our broad match campaign, we're going to choose broad. So now's the time to actually enter in our keywords. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste each of these keywords in here. And then what I recommend doing is just like creating a note with this, so you don't have to do this every time. All right, so now we've got the keywords in here. So you want to just copy this, and then you can basically create a note file with this. So just Notepad if you're on Windows, if you're on Mac, you can just paste it in your notes. And then you want to click on add keywords with the suggested bid. Now, once you've done that, you want to look at the suggested bid, and you kind of want to get an idea for the average bid here. So I would say that the average is about probably $2. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to change all the bids of these keywords to the lower end of the average. So if the average is about $2, and how to calculate the average, you just kind of get an idea. So the highest one is $2.61 that I see, the lowest one is $1.39. So I'm just saying $2. So we're going to set the bid to $1.50 for each one of these. Okay, save, and then you're just going to do that for the rest of them. All right, so now I've got the $1.50 bid in here. You want to remember what you put in here because this matters later on. All right, so now the next step, and it's very important, is to actually negative phrase match these keywords here. Same target keywords, we're going to negative phrase match. And it's a little bit difficult to explain and to wrap your head around why you got to do this. Honestly, I'm not even going to go into the details right now. This is just to prevent bid overlap. And so this is really important. Through all of our testing, this really helps reduce your wasted ad spend. So just add the keywords, make sure it's negative phrase match for this broad match campaign. It's going to be negative phrase. For the next one we're going to do, it's actually going to be a negative exact. Okay, everything looks good. Now you click on launch campaign, and then we're going to rinse and repeat. And then we're going to go back to campaign manager here and do the same thing. You're going to be able to see some of the campaigns that you've created already. Create campaign. All right, so our third campaign is also going to be a sponsored products campaign. This one is going to be our launch phrase match campaign. Okay, Bro Day launch phrase match. For this one, the budget option is between $10 and $20 a day. I'm going to do 10 just to stay conservative. Now I'm going to select manual targeting, dynamic bids down only, adjust bids by placement, and what you want to type in 50%. Ad group name, we're going to copy and paste this right here, just like that. We're going to select our product. Keyword targeting, enter list, deselect exact, deselect broad, and then we are going to paste our keywords, which actually are in our Notepad file right here. Copy and paste. Add the keywords. Remember how we put $1.50 for all the other keywords before for the broad match? So now you want to add on 25 cents to that. So $1.75. Okay, $1.75 for each. All right, so now that you've got that in there, the next step is to scroll down. And now what you want to do is you want to copy your target keywords and then negative exact match them here to prevent bid overlap, just to prevent any wasted ad spend. And now we click on launch campaign. Cool, 3 out of 5 done. Let's go back to our campaign manager, create campaign. All right, so our fourth campaign, this one is going to be our launch exact match campaign, also sponsored products campaign. All right, Bro Day, launch exact match. All right, now for the daily budget. So here it's recognizing the earlier campaign that we made a while ago when we launched it. So I'm just gonna put 2, but just don't put 2, just put the regular name without the 2. Now for the daily budget, we have a choice of $10 to $30. I'm going to put $10 just to stay conservative. Manual targeting, dynamic bids down only. For the bid plus, we're going to put 50%, top of search. Ad group name, we are going to right click, copy, paste it into the ad group. Scroll down and select your product. Now select keyword targeting, enter list, open your Notepad file, same words, right click and paste. Now you want to make sure that it's exact, add the keywords. And remember the bid that we put for the last one. So it was $1.75. You want to add on another 25 cents. So this is going to be $2. And we're going to put that same bid for all the other ones. So it's kind of like an ascending ladder of bids. All right, so that's done. Now we want to scroll down, and for our exact match campaign, we actually don't have to add any negative keywords. So now we click launch. All right, 4 out of 5 campaigns done. So now, finally, our last campaign that we're going to launch is going to be our product display campaign. So you're going to click on new campaign, and then here you're going to click on sponsored products. And then once you click on that, for the campaign name, you're going to type in Broday launch product display. For the daily budget, we're going to do 10. Here we're going to select manual targeting, dynamic bids down only, bid plus 50% like before. For the ad group, it's going to be the same as this. I know I'm going a little fast, so you can slow me down or you can remind me, no problem. I'm going to add the product. Now the difference is we're going to select product targeting. So instead of targeting keywords, we're actually going to be selecting and targeting products. Now how this works, I'm going to show you what this looks like on Amazon here. So if we go to even our own listing here, Broday. So here you'll find similar products being shown on the listing. And so that's what that is. So if we scroll down, we can see sponsored product related to this item, right? So that's also that. Basically, you are showing your product under other people's listings. And so the best way to figure out which products to actually target, you want to type in your top main keyword. So that would be bidet. We right click and we copy, we paste that at the top here. And then in here, what you do is you actually go through your top competitors and you want to objectively look at the listing quality. So here in this case, I can see, yeah, the listing is okay. It's not the best, but obviously it's got a lot of reviews, it's working. So you want to basically find like the most garbage listings or listings that are just worse than your listing. And those are going to be profitable listings to target, because obviously if somebody goes to their listings and they see your listing appears there and they click on yours, if yours is better quality, well, then they're going to likely buy from yours. That's the logic here. So if we click on Veckin here, this ultra slim bidet, so I think this is a great listing to target. So what you do is you actually go up here, you right click on this ASIN. So this is the B followed by the letters and the numbers. And then we go back to Amazon advertising here, individual products, enter list, right click and paste. And so what you want to do is you basically want to enter in about 5 to 10, just for the purpose of this video. I'm going to probably, let's just say this listing is not the best. So we're going to add that in here as well. But you actually want to find 5 to 10 listings that are worse than your listing. And you want to be objective with that. Like they actually have to be worse. Don't add your top competitors here if their listings are better, because you're going to be wasting your money. So once you have 5 to 10 here, then you click target. And then for the bid, you're going to click apply suggested bid for all. And then that's it. We're going to click on launch campaign. All right, so now at this point, we've got all of our launch campaigns created. So what you want to do is you want to leave this for at least 2 days. Don't even look at it. Don't even touch it. And I know that it's going to be very tempting to look at your campaigns and touch them and try to fiddle with them. Honestly, do not, because you're just going to be messing up the algorithm. You're going to be messing up the launch process. After 48 hours or 2 full days have passed, what you want to do is you want to go back to your campaign view right here. And then you want to go to your top left corner here and then click on reports. And then when you get to reports, you want to click on create report. We're not actually going to be pulling up our search term report, and I'm going to show you how to optimize your launch campaign. So sponsored products, report type, search term, time unit, you want to do summary. And then for the report period, you can just do the last 30 days. Obviously it's only been 2 days since you've ran your campaign. So anything that includes those 2 days would work. So now we click on run report. So now this says pending. And then once this actually is ready, then when we refresh, we can actually click on download, and then it's going to download that Excel sheet, which we can pull up. You can also open this up in Google Sheets if you're on Mac, if you don't have Microsoft Excel. So now I'm going to show you how to read a search term report. It looks like a bunch of gibberish. It looks like a bunch of numbers and things. Honestly, it's not too difficult. So I'm going to try to explain this to you as best as I can. You have your campaigns, you have your ad groups. This is what you're targeting. This is what the customer is actually typing in. Now here's the important part, the spend, and then also all of these things on the right side here. So the most important thing by far is always going to be your total advertising cost of sales. This is your ACOS. So to optimize your launch PPC campaigns, what you want to do first is you want to click on the column data, and Google Sheets will look a little bit different. But what we're doing is we just want to sort this by top to bottom. So just like that. And then now we can see all the different ACOSs. Now I haven't actually ran the launch campaigns here that I just created because I'm just making this video in one go here. But we're just going to pretend that these are your launch campaigns. So what we're doing here is any keyword that has above 100% of ACOS, we're actually going to be adding that as a negative keyword in that campaign. So in this case, we can see here, just using this as an example, this bidet toilet seat attachment, 117% ACOS, right? And so if we look to the left, we can see the actual campaign that it's in. So if we go to the left, in this case, the campaign name was Broday Proven Exact Samurai. But like I said, for you, it's going to show like Broday Launch Exact Match or Phrase Match. And so you're going to see the name of that campaign. So it's going to be either your broad, exact, phrase, product display, or auto. And so what you do is you right click, you copy the word, and then you actually click into that campaign. Let's say if it's for the broad match, okay? And then you go to negative keywords, add negative keywords, and then you negative exact match that keyword. Always negative exact at this point. And you want to rinse and repeat that process for all of your campaigns. So any keywords that are above 100%, that's how you optimize your keywords during your launch PPC phase. And you want to repeat this process about every 2 to 3 days. You don't need to do this every day. So you want to keep optimizing your launch PPC campaigns until your product has about 5 positive reviews. So as long as it's between 5 and 10, and you've also achieved your target rank for your keywords, your product's at the top of page 1 or close to it, at that point, you can now turn off your launch campaigns and we can now start our ongoing PPC campaigns. So here is where we're actually going to be optimizing for profit. We're not going to be optimizing for that 100% ACOS, and now we're actually going to focus on making money and making profit. So step 1 will be to pull your search term report again, like we did, and then make sure to actually select the past 30 days. So let's say this is the search term that we just pulled up, and let's say that our product is successfully ranked and we have 6 reviews, let's just say. So you want to have at least 5 to 10. If you're in that range, you're good, and they're positive. So now, once you pulled up the search term report, so we're looking for any keywords that have a 50% ACOS or below and have a spend of $5 at least, okay? So we can see here that this is a $2 spend, but it has a 4% ACOS, so this would not work. We're not gonna include that. But this one, 24% and 280, yes. So just remember, at least $5 in spend and maximum 50% ACOS, okay? So anything below 50 and anything above 5. Those 2 criterias have to match. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna write down these words. You can either do it in a Word document or a Google Doc, or I'm on Windows and Notepad. And we're gonna use this as an example here. So bidet toilet seat attachment, nope, that's way too high of an ACOS. This one works. So we're gonna right click, copy that, paste it in here. Okay, let's see. This one is good as well. And if it's the same word, that's fine. You can put it. Amazon will not count duplicate words anyway. This one is good as well. This one is good. And basically all of these ones right here, they're good, okay? It's mostly the same. You'll find that the keywords will be different for you. It's just because of this search term report. I haven't actually ran the launch campaigns here for this video. So these are your new target keywords that you're gonna be using to actually create your new ongoing campaigns. So in this case, you can see, obviously it looks weird, but like I said, it's because I didn't actually run the launch campaigns. I didn't wanna wait to make this video. But for you, it's gonna look different. It's gonna be different words, obviously. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna select random words. Don't do this. So I'm just gonna take some example words. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off all of our launch campaigns because you don't need them anymore. And we are going to rinse and repeat the process that I did to actually create these campaigns. This is why using that tool, a PPC tool, is so good, because you don't have to do this every time. It gets really annoying. So now instead of me showing you how to repetitively create all these campaigns, which I already showed you the step-by-step process to do earlier in the video, it's the same. It's just that the title is gonna be different. And we are obviously using our new target keywords that I just showed you how to find. Here are the campaigns that you want to build. So the first one is going to be your ongoing exact match. So if I was to create it, it'd be called Bro Day Ongoing Exact Match. So here you're going to basically paste your keywords that you just selected, and then you're going to target exact match, and then you're going to make sure to add a 50% bid adjustment. Your second campaign is going to be your ongoing phrase match. Same thing, 50% bid adjustment, except now you are going to negative exact match your new keywords that you selected. You're going to negative exact match them in the phrase match campaign. The next one is going to be your ongoing broad match campaign, and you're going to negative phrase match those keywords as well, and also a 50% bid adjustment. And then you're going to do an ongoing product display campaign. So on your search term report, you'll actually find ASINs. So these are products, and you actually want to add ASINs in your ongoing product display campaign that are at or under 50% of ACOS. So if you look at your search term report, you just look for products that are at or below 50% of ACOS, and your final campaign they're going to create is going to be called your optimized auto campaign. And so for your optimized auto campaign, since you can't actually target keywords in an automatic campaign, you're just going to be adding all the keywords that had an ACOS above 50% in your search term report. You're going to add them as negative exact match. So for more information on how to do all this, you can just go back to that part of the video where I actually created the launch campaigns. So it's the same process for this. It's just that it's slightly different naming. And the optimized auto campaign, this time you're just basically adding keywords from your search term report that had a 50% ACOS or above. You're adding them as a negative exact match to that auto campaign. Now, how do we optimize our ongoing PPC campaigns? So you want to also basically look at them every 2 to 3 days, and you don't need to optimize them more frequently than that. Every 2 to 3 days is perfect. And what you want to do is you want to optimize for your break-even ACOS or below. So any keywords that are above your break-even ACOS, and for our Bro Day, it was 50% 50%, well, any keywords that are above 50%, we're actually going to remove them from our campaigns. And specifically, we're going to negative exact match them in those specific campaigns. And just like I showed you how to do that in the earlier part of the video here with the search term report, you can just go back there and then you can watch how to do that. This time, to optimize your ongoing PPC campaigns, you're just basically going to be adding negative exact match any keywords that are your break-even ACOS or above, okay? So if your break-even ACOS, let's say, is 42%, that's your profit margin. If you see a keyword that's like 48, you're gonna negative exact match in that specific campaign. And then finally, you're also gonna be adding any keywords that are very profitable. So anything that's like below 20% ACOS, you're gonna add those keywords to your exact match campaign, and that campaign is gonna be the one with your highest ROI always. So you're always gonna have that exact match campaign, which is gonna have your most profitable keywords. Now, remember that campaign that I showed you at the beginning of the video that was incredibly profitable for us? So finally, I'm gonna show you how to do that. So this campaign you absolutely should start. And basically what you do is, all it is it's a campaign that's targeting your brand name. And the reason why this is so profitable is because after a few weeks of selling on Amazon, your customers are going to start to get to know your brand name, and it's going to start to get recognized in your target market. And so for us, we decided to target anybody who searches for our brand name for Bro Day. And that's basically guaranteed sales because they're obviously searching for Bro Day. It's super targeted and you can afford to do a high bid. So what you want to do is you want to create a campaign that targets your brand name and other variations of your brand name, so maybe misspellings, as well as words that your brand name might include. So like in our case, Bro Day bidet, Bro Day toilet. And so you want to mix up the match types, so all of them, exact, broad phrase, everything, and then just apply suggested bid. And then that campaign should be a guaranteed moneymaker for you, especially as time goes on and your brand gets more and more well known. Okay, that was a long video, but if you've watched this whole thing, then obviously you're committed to making passive income, getting this thing going for yourself, starting a successful Amazon FBA business. You've made the decision already. You know that the 9-to-5 is not for you. And at this point, you're probably like, there are no ifs and no buts. I have to succeed. But the truth is that most people that watch my channel never start anything. And at the time of making this video, I've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Honestly, like the vast majority probably haven't started businesses. Why? Great question. And the answer is because most people procrastinate and never take any action. And the world is not conquered by people who simply dream. The world is conquered by those who take action, who actually make it happen for themselves. So my question to you is, are you going to do this for yourself? Are you actually going to go and build a successful Amazon FBA business, or are you just simply going to think and talk about it to your friends? Are you actually going to achieve freedom? Are you actually going to do this? And where will you be in 1 year? Think about this. Where would you have been today if you'd started 1 year ago? Now, you might have seen my Ecom Freedom course and the amazing results that my students have been getting with it. Maybe you've seen the massive amount of student reviews on my channel. And since I launched it, literally the course has changed thousands of people's lives. There is no course that has created more success than the Ecom Freedom course at that price point. Plus, you get unlimited one-on-one mentorship with our team of 7-figure sellers who are verified, as well as myself, who has been running and investing in e-commerce brands for years. So if you want to make this happen for yourself and you actually want to have the best possible chance of doing this and you want to get world-class mentorship, then you can click the link down below. There's going to be a 7-day free trial. It's zero risk. You don't pay a penny. If you don't like it, we don't take any money. So you actually only get charged once you're fully happy at the end of the 7 days if you don't cancel. And you also get lifetime access to the course and the mentorship. You'll find tons of successful people in the group that you can communicate with and that you can just, make friends with all around the world, because we've got people from almost literally every single country. So you'll find that link down below to join. You'll also find a case study down below in the description called the Freedom Blueprint, depending on when you watch this video, showing how we took a brand new Amazon FBA business and brand, and we took that, we scaled it to 6-7 figures per year and a $1 million valuation. You'll find that description below. And also, if you're looking for startup capital for your e-commerce brand, if you want $1,000 to $10,000 as an investment, you can check out the Ecom Freedom VC down below. There's an application to partner up with us. I actually created the Ecom Freedom VC because I wanted to help out new e-commerce entrepreneurs build successful e-commerce brands. So you can click the link down below to apply. It's completely free and you'll find the deadline to apply down there as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Just remember, never give up and make this happen for yourself. Commit to it. You've already committed to it. Make it happen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.